We here. We back in the building, y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And with a special guest, as we've been mentioning during the week, today we are joined by Ryan Henderson of Ryan's Big Blue Podcast. Ryan, welcome to the show. We're so happy to see you.
Excited to be on. I've talked with you a lot in the comments of both of our, channels, and it's good we were able to set something up. Obviously, I'll have you guys on in the future, and I'm excited to talk Giants football, even though they're not exciting right now.
It's a Big Blue thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's always Giants. Yep.
Thick and thin. And anyway, just a quick introduction. Clay from Bklyn, football with the fellas. Who's my partner here?
It's your man Mayzo. It's all about Big Blue.
Yes, sir.
And welcome,
yes, sir.
welcome, Ryan. We appreciate you being on. This is great. We've been talking. Hopefully we'll get you on here. And Ryan, remember, I'm the optimist. So, no matter what the Giants are doing, I'm optimistic about it. That guy over there, realist. He kind of brings me back down to earth. But so you're here. Hopefully you won't float too much with us.
I'm somewhere in the middle, I would say. So I think that's perfect.
I like that.
Got you.
So I guess we should start just talking a little about the state of the Giants. I mean, we are coming off the bye week. We have now spent 2 Sundays in a row not losing, which is impressive because we had a bye week and a Monday night game. So we haven't lost on a Sunday in a minute.
It's something. I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Definitely take it. Good Lord, yes.
But it's just as far overall. I'll just read off real quick, if you don't mind, a couple of moves that I've seen that we've made this week. We signed a punter. We signed a punter because our punter got injured on the Charlie Brown type field goal attempt that has gone viral. So we signed a punter, and he's actually not bad. I mean, historically, he's 33 years old. His name is Cameron Johnston, and he actually led the league in punt attempts and punt yards in 2021 while he was on Houston. And his lifetime average is 47.2 yards per punt with a net of 42.2 yards per punt. And he's only had 1 punt blocked in his career. So I throw that all out because who else knows that stuff? Like, I didn't know it yesterday because who cares?
But he led the league, you said?
He led the league in punt yardage and punt attempts.
You know what that means, though, right?
That means they punted a lot.
A whole lot. The offense wasn't moving.
Well, then he's used to it, right? He'll be used to it.
He's coming to a place to be.
That's why they got all those draft picks and got C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson and yada yada yada. So, if only we could turn the corner like some teams have. Yeah. So that's one thing we've done. Ryan, any other news you have discovered? Anything else you know about this week?
Well, they fired their assistant defensive line coach, Brian Cox, because of a bunch of reasons. He was a Dable guy. They hired him when Dable came in. When you're firing your assistant defensive line coach in week 14 after the week 13 game against the Patriots, it's not because of anything football wise. There had to be something going on where he was unhappy. Then the story came out, that he didn't like the seating arrangements on the plane, the changes Kafka was making. And I don't, so they ended up letting him go. But apparently he's had some issues like this in the past with other teams he's been on where he, is known to cause some trouble like this. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I actually just found out today on, I forgot what show I was watching, but he was with the Falcons at one point and it also wasn't a great ending. So I knew though when they fired the assistant defensive line coach, it's not because of this terrible run defense, because it's not going to change anything. It was internal problems.
Exactly.
That's Brian Cox who played for.
Yeah, he played for the Jets.
Right.
He played for a couple of teams, but for the Jets for a while.
Yeah.
Well, if he had the same attitude, coaching the way when he had playing, then I can understand him being fired because he wasn't a nice guy.
Yeah.
As a player. So.
A couple other points I'll raise. Kayvon Thibodeau is out for his 4th week in a row. He's definitely out, which means he could have been on IR because IR is a minimum of 4 weeks. So yet another thing that Shane didn't do well. He could have saved that roster spot a month ago by putting him on IR. Including the bye week. This is now 5 weeks he's been unable to play football. So why wasn't he on IR? Whatever.
We have brought up Turbo. We have brought up Turbo. That's all I want to know.
We could have brought up Turbo.
That's all I want to know.
Or Chapman or somebody. We've also put Nick Jones on IR. He's a backup cornerback, but a special teams ace. And as a result of his shoulder surgery and going on IR, we signed a guy named Ryan Miller. We actually made a waiver claim on Ryan Miller. He had been released by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and because we have the first pick in the draft, we have the first pick in the waiver wire. So we had first dibs on him, and we took him. He is a wide receiver. Basically, he's a special teams guy,
Special teams
but
guy.
he's a
Yep.
really good special teams guy. They say. Uh, I mean, he's not a Pro Bowler, or Tampa Bay wouldn't
Yeah.
release him, but he's
Right.
a solid contributor on special teams. So we picked him up as well. I wouldn't be surprised at all if both of them, if this guy Ryan Miller and if the punter Cameron Johnston both play this Sunday.
I actually really like the Ryan Miller move. Cameron Johnson, I've heard of him and seen him throughout his career at points, and I think he's a better punter than Jamie Gillen. So, I got no problem with, him punting on Sunday. Ryan Miller, I actually really like that move, and I don't know if it's just because I share a name with him, but in his career he has three receiving touchdowns, but he is mainly a special teams guy. But I do like the Ryan Miller guy, and all three of his touchdowns were on prime time. So
Oh, well, I didn't notice that. Nice,
that's
nice.
so another interesting fact there.
That would
Right.
work. That would work for me. Cause I'm concerned about our special teams. Period. A field goal kick. We got field goal kickers who don't kick. They do the Charlie Brown deal. We got field goal kickers who get hurt the same hamstring every year. What are we doing? What are
The
we
most
doing?
we are the only team that consistently has our kickers and punters go down. It's
Right.
insane.
Kickers and punters on IR is not cool.
That's
No,
not cool, especially every year. We are special teams, as in short bus special, as in
I
that's
saw
the
I saw
special
you said
ed.
that on the show. I
Yes,
think it was
we
at
are.
the halftime of the Patriot game. I was laughing at that.
That's not good. That's not how you want to be known.
No.
No.
Okay, so that's kind of the state of the Giants. I will also say that I was doing a little digging on how Washington has been doing lately. And I noticed Chris Flume at Giants Big Blue View, shout out to Big Blue View, that's one of the fan sites that I frequent, um, posted something that said that the Vikings were very aggressive against Washington last game, and you saw what the score was. I mean,
Right.
they got shut out. And so he was suggesting that maybe if we were more aggressive, which our new defensive coordinator seems to be willing to do, we might have some success against the pass. However, they are fourth in the league in rushing. They're averaging 135 yards a game rushing. We are 31st in the league in stopping the run. We give up 154 yards a game. So they may not throw the ball very much.
Right.
They may just run it down our throats,
Especially without Daniels. Yeah.
especially without Daniels.
Right.
Exactly.
Man, that could be a recipe for first and 10, second and 1.
Second and two, right?
I don't get why every team just doesn't run the ball every play against the
Right.
Giants, because every play is at least, positive yardage. It's
Right. Big positive yardage each time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
And
come on.
that was one of the things I said in the last episode was why don't teams just run the ball? And then my next clip was, oh, it's because we play 10 yards off the ball and let them have, 8-yard completions without anyone near them.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's
So
bad.
they can do either one. Do
They do whatever they want on us. Yep.
whatever they want, especially if Tay Banks is out there.
Oh, no, not
Oh.
Tay Banks. Not
Tay
Tay.
Banks can be like in your
Bust.
jersey with you and you'll still make the catch. Like he
Yeah.
just has no ball skills. I don't
He's a
know.
bust. He was a Wink pick, and now that Wink's gone, he's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, please. And even when Wink was here, he doesn't play football well.
He doesn't
like
turn his head.
He doesn't like contact. If you're not going to be able to tackle, maybe you should find another line of work.
Right.
Anyway,
Find another
so
sport.
that's some of what's going on this week in our bye week, and then build up to this game this Sunday. Probably should talk a little bit more about maybe the upcoming offseason, because as Mayzo and I have said many times, the offseason is our playoffs, right? Like
Yeah, pretty much right now. Yeah.
that's what we look forward to at this point. Since we've been
That's
out of
when
it since like Halloween.
that's when everyone really cares about the Giants. Like people are, the season's whatever. Then the draft, the free agency, we'll
Right.
see what happens there.
You're gonna see right now. You be able to tell the real Giant fans versus the guys. People just hang on because like, it's funny. They'll go to the game hoping the Giants lose so we can get a higher pick. I
Right.
can't do that.
I can't do that.
I want them to win. I mean, no matter what, I'm not worried about the draft. But we can do all like Clay. You say all the time. We can do that later and say, hey, they just would have then we could have had a higher pick. Whatever. It's the draft is a crapshoot, Anyway, so
Yeah, no, I mean the number one pick would be obviously great because you could trade back, get a lot of
right.
assets for it. But it's hard. As a Giants fan, when they're on Sunday, I want to win.
Oh,
I don't know if it's the competitive nature in me, the fan, but no matter what, especially now we have our quarterback, we have Dart. Let's go
yes.
out there. Let's win. These last few games, four
Right,
games,
Oh yeah.
right.
When we
especially with
talk about
Dallas
the
and Washington on the schedule.
yes. Those
Absolutely.
two.
I never want to lose a division game.
No,
No.
no. And I want to beat the Washington Commanders. You Clayton knows I want to beat them so bad. I can't
So uh, that said, and as I mentioned this last episode as well, remember the Chase Young Bowl a few years ago?
Yeah.
We were in a very similar situation towards the end of the season. We were like tied for the same record that was going to be the second worst record in the league. We played Washington and we beat them. So they won the right to draft Chase Young second overall. I forget which quarterback. I think it might have been Kyler Murray. So one of the quarterbacks went
Yeah.
first overall. Jeff Okuda went third overall, and we had the fourth pick. And that was the year that Andrew Thomas and Tristan Wirfs and
Right.
Mekhi Beck, like all these tackles were coming out. And I was pounding the table for Andrew Thomas. Please pick Andrew Thomas. So we actually do a show. We record draft day, day one of the draft every
Oh
year
yeah.
together. And I was screaming into the television, please pick Andrew Thomas, and they did. And so, who would you rather have in hindsight, Chase Young or Andrew Thomas?
Yeah. That's
Right.
why you don't
Right.
know who's going to end up picking who and things like
Right.
that. Just control what you can control now and win. But I'll tell you this, on Sunday, one of the team's streaks is going to end. Commanders have the longest losing streak in the league right now at 8 games. Giants got the second longest at 7, tied with the Raiders, but still second longest. So one's going to come to an end unless they tie. No, if
Unless
they
they tie.
tie, then they both end. But
You
still,
know what's gonna happen. They're gonna tie, go into overtime. Something stupid, something crazy. But
yeah.
I can't wait to get the predictions because I got one for this one. I got one. I definitely got one.
Okay. Well, let's save that.
Yeah,
Save
yeah.
the predictions for a minute. Off season is coming up. Ryan, I know you've talked about some different options at head coach,
Oh yeah.
in free agency, in the draft. Share with us. Tell me who you're thinking. Who are your top 2 or 3 candidates for the head coaching job that presumably
So
isn't going to go to Mike Kafka?
yeah, so I put out a video earlier when I originally when I started with a co-host,
Right.
um, and the one guy I wanted was because of discipline reasons, and he has experience as a head coach, and because of his relationship with Dart, and that was John Gruden. I don't think that's realistic. I just don't see them going for him, and especially he's out of the league now a little bit. I just don't see them going that direction and how it ended in the league.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why my main guy right now, it's a little controversial, is Mike McCarthy. I think that Mike McCarthy, look,
Really?
I'll tell you why. So,
Because Clay gonna push back on
yeah,
that.
no, so I originally, when they first fired Dable, wasn't really, looking into McCarthy. But when you talk about the main things the Giants need, it's, a coach who's gonna come in, he has experience, he's gonna discipline the players and, really knows how to coach the entire football team and not just the guy who's a
Right.
coordinator. You don't know what he's gonna know. Um, and Mike McCarthy was talking highly of Dart on the Pat McAfee show a few weeks ago. His
Mhm.
record in the NFL is 174 and 112 and 2 with 49 to 35 with Dallas. Went 12 and 5 3 seasons in a row with Dallas. And and obviously the Super Bowl with Green Bay in 2010. When I think of Mike McCarthy, he's going to bring in a good staff around him. I think of Tom Thibodeau for the Knicks in 2020. They
Okay.
hired him. They knew that, you know, he he probably won't win you a championship with the way his rotations are and stuff, but he will win games and get you back to a consistent, playoff standard and
Right.
bring you back to, at least,
Respectability. Right.
yeah, not being a top pick in the draft every year. So a
Right.
high
Right.
floor, low ceiling. So
Right.
and
Right.
I think that's what we need right now. Being just cycling through head coaches isn't going to do it. So I would say Gruden, McCarthy, and then after that, honestly, I don't. I'd have to look more into some other guys. I mean, Shula is
And
a
that's
guy.
fine. If it's only 2 that really make you happy, that's
Those are
fine.
the two that would make me the most happy. I know Freeman, the Notre Dame coach, been talked about. I don't really
Right.
like it. I think I don't want the college jump. in a big year like this, we have some pieces. I want a guy who has experience.
Right.
I hear you. Well, you didn't mention two names that I've heard a lot of people talking about that may or may not be realistic, but Mike Tomlin from the Steelers and
That's
John
what I was going
Harbaugh
to
from the
say.
Ravens are two people that may be looking for work next year. Like they may be let go. I was saying to Mayzo, I will get in my car and drive down to Pittsburgh myself. If Mike Tomlin is let go,
Well,
I
no,
will help him back.
Mike Tomlin would be the guy I want. Like, cause he would be a step up from McCarthy, like the
Right.
same type of, a big step up, obviously. But I just don't see it as realistic as McCarthy, which is why I go with him.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but and then Harbaugh, another guy I'd like as well. But Brian Flores, I think would have been perfect. But obviously they have that whole thing going on. He's never getting hired here.
Right.
Yeah. 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 And honestly, what you alluded to with John Gruden, the way he left the league, all the stuff that came out about his kind of personal life,
Yeah.
I don't see the Maras wanting to tie their boat to that. Like
Yeah, they're just not going to get into that
No.
stuff.
Yeah.
They're going to avoid as much, highlight on them as possible.
Yeah, and certainly controversy. That is not who we are as a team. So yeah, unfortunately, Flores and Gruden, I don't see as realistic. The Steelers and the Giants are literally related, right? Like the ownerships are related.
Yeah.
So maybe that over Thanksgiving they were having conversations about this. Oh,
Right.
is he really going to be free? I'm not sure that would be called tampering if you're passing cranberry sauce and having conversations.
And talking, yeah.
So I don't know that he's realistically available, but if he is available, it would be
Get him.
tough.
I tell you,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, and Ryan has already said it, is Harbaugh. Nobody's really talking about. I say Harbaugh coming over. He actually is. He coaches giant football way, the old school way. He coaches that way, and we need that back here. He definitely, you get respect, and it depends on what happens with with the team this year. The guy, watch, I just see it. He's that dark horse guy who'll come from nowhere, and we'll go, thank you. Thank you. He dropped in
Yeah.
our lap.
No, just the big thing is getting a guy who is gonna. I think if you get any of those guys that have experienced Tomlin, McCarthy, Harbaugh, they're gonna bring in a good staff around them, and that's another thing that'll be very helpful.
Right.
I want to know who the offensive line coaches. That's what I want to know.
Well, hopefully
Keep-
we keep Brasillo
Keep Brasillo.
and Coach Ray Patterson on the defensive line. Although one could argue that our defensive line maybe does need a new.
I think I would just go with a whole overhaul at that point, especially with his assistant fired.
Right.
But Brasillo, I think, is the only one that would even, I would even think about keeping, just because this line has been so bad for so long on the offensive line that don't mess with it.
Don't mess with it. That's why we got to sign Illuminor. I can't believe we didn't do that in the bye week. I was so annoyed that we didn't do that. Why? What do we think? I mean, I get that he's going to be expensive.
You know what I think it might be? I think it might be they didn't want Shane to make any moves really because they, maybe they're preparing to get rid of him at the end of the year. They're like, let the new GM handle it.
Oh, I hear that.
I like that, Ryan.
It's going to cost us more money.
Yeah, I know. That's the only thing.
Why do I want the new GM to be saddled with competing with 31 other teams for this guy when right now we're the only team that can sign him now?
I think that's just Mara's thinking. He's like, don't touch this football team. But honestly, I am one of the people that think Shane's gonna stay. I just have that feeling, but I'm hoping that I'm right. That's my optimism coming out.
You
That's
want
what
him to stay?
No, I want him gone. I want him gone.
I thought you wanted him to stay.
I'm saying my gut feeling is telling me he's gonna stay.
Got you. But that's not what you want.
No, I want him gone, and my optimism is, hoping that the reason they didn't re-sign any of those guys is because he's gone.
Yeah,
fair
enough.
Enough.
Yeah, they didn't let him touch anything. So
hopefully,
I just don't want to saddle the new GM with having to replace Illuminor because we didn't take the time to keep him when we could.
Now I have
listening to other teams, it's going to go up.
Yeah, no, for sure, especially because he's been playing really well. I have one. So if it meant the Giants lose out and Shane's fired, whole staff fired, would you guys rather that, or would you rather guys win out, get those nice 4 wins, or Shane stays? Because that puts us in a tough spot.
That's hard.
Yeah,
that's hard.
If you're talking competitor, I want them to win out.
Right.
If you're talking
what's best for the team?
If I'm looking at what's good for the
2026
team,
Giants.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll split the difference, though. You know that already, right?
Going into the games, we're rooting for them. But
Right.
Right.
obviously at the end of the year, if we lose those 4 and he's fired, we're like, thank God.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Exactly.
There was a
Exactly.
silver lining.
Yeah.
I honestly, I just don't think we're going to lose all 4 of them.
Mhm.
I think we're going to beat at least Washington, probably the Raiders.
Raiders.
Yeah. You see how
You know,
bad the
it
weather's going to
wouldn't
be
shock me
Sunday?
to beat Minnesota, but I
Oh
can see us
yeah.
going 2-2. I can see us
Yeah.
going 2-2.
2-2, maybe even 3-1. But the weather Sunday is going to be rough for Dart and for everybody, obviously. But I know Dart in college wasn't the best in cold weather. But
Right.
Sunday, the snow,
But
the
isn't he
rain.
from Utah?
Oh wait,
I
it's
mean,
snowing.
originally
Yeah, he
he's
is from
from
Utah.
Utah.
So
Yeah, he's seen
Wait,
snow before.
we got snow on Sunday.
it says it's supposed to snow and mixed with rain. So it's
Right.
it's going to be a game of the trenches.
Talk
Yes.
about the wind. Tell me about the wind. That's what I want to know about the wind. That's all.
So the kicking game will be exciting again. It will be
Oh,
eventful.
of
It'll be
course.
eventful.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll top that and do what we did on against the Patriots twice because the special teams was awful against the
Oh my God.
Patriots.
Oh,
Oh,
Well, listen, at least we don't have we're not playing in Chicago. Remember when Sean Landetta whiffed on a punt in the playoffs against
oh
Chicago? Well, that's before your time.
before my
You might
time, but
have
I
heard
have
about
heard of that and
yeah.
seen some
it. He
clips.
literally missed it.
Yeah.
The
I've
wind
never
blew the
seen a
ball
pro
away from
kicker.
him between his hand and his foot, and it flew to the side, and he swing and a miss.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's get to the game this week. What do we think is going to happen this week?
Now we
We've
talking.
all basically said we kind of think they're going to win this game, but let's pin it down. Let's put some numbers to it. Ryan, you're the guest. We'll let you go first. What do
Thank
you
you,
think
thank
should be
you.
happening?
So I feel like it's only fair if I give the same prediction that I believe. It's the prediction that I fully think is going to happen, and it's the same one I said yesterday on the preview pod for
Mhm.
Ryan's weekly podcast. I think the Giants do win this game, because they're going to establish the run, and that's the big thing they're going to have to do against the Commanders' 29th ranked run defense. Singletary, Tracy's, not actually going to miss any time, although his injury looked worse in that Patriot game than it ended up being. I have the Giants winning 24-20. Um,
Ooh.
and a solid game, not a solid game. I think it's going to be an awful game, but it's going to be close. It's just going to be a battle the whole time. But I think the Giants do pull this one out, especially with Daniels not playing, and things like that.
Nice.
Wow. Wow.
Mayzo, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go because I heard about the weather conditions. I'm bringing my score down a bit now. Because whenever I think about the Giants playing at MetLife, I'm thinking about the wind. It's swirling. You can't throw the bomb. So Hyatt shouldn't be playing it anyway. But Hyatt's out of the game at that point. Um, but Dart's back, and Dart's going to try to prove that he can throw through the wind. He's going to. I seen him having a good game though. I see the tight ends, my tight end room coming
He's always
through.
about the tight ends.
But again, I look at my score is going to be 17-13, Big Blue.
Okay.
Okay, I like that. I actually do like that, especially with the weather. That's a good pick.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that too. So I'm going to be similar to that. I
Uh-oh.
think no field goals will be made because of the cold and the wind. Some will be attempted, but I think no field goals will be made. I have not heard yet whether Younghoe Koo is going to kick again. Presumably he will. I haven't heard any reason to believe he won't. Like he's not on the injury report. And much as I've been banging the table for Ben Sauls ever since last year's draft, and now we have him on the practice squad, and I would love for him to come up. I just don't think we're going to do that.
No, they're not.
Mm,
So,
mm.
so I think we're going to win this game 13-7. And the 13 is
Wow.
going to be 2 touchdowns, but we're going to miss one of the extra points. I feel like
I
there
see
will
Wow.
it.
be missed extra points, there'll be missed field goals.
Wow.
And so I'm going to pick us to win this game 13-7. I don't think either team is going to be able to generate consistent offense. We'll play the game between the 20s, as they say.
Yeah, you guys are making me rethink because now those sound good for a game in this type of weather.
Yeah, it's the weather. It's the weather.
You
And then the
never know. You never
quarterbacks.
know. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to pick. So we're all picking the Giants to win, which means to lose the first overall pick in the draft. And that's fine. We'll deal with that next week.
I would have liked to seen Daniels play though. I would have liked to seen Dart versus Daniels. So
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
unfortunate, but
Yes. We're going to be seeing that for years to come. So
yeah, hopefully.
yeah, we won't get it today. I mean, this Sunday, but we'll see that in the
Yeah,
future.
for sure.
For sure.
Do me a favor, Ryan. Whisper in Jackson's ear. Do not run.
Slide.
Do not go for slide. It's snow. Slide on the snow. Have fun.
Slide.
Do
Have fun, slide. Right.
Yeah, just get down or get out of bounds.
Right.
Right. We need like Ricky Henderson to come coach him or something.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Listen, this has been great. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. And let's do this again sometime. And like you said, maybe we'll come on your show one day.
Yep.
But we really appreciate having you and you spending some time with us.
It was fun.
Listen, we are all misery love company. We're all suffering and struggling through the season. So it's always great to find someone else to help us get through it.
I'm also going to be
plug your show again, Ryan.
Where can people find you?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Ryan's Big Blue Podcast. Obviously, on YouTube is where I mainly post exclusively. It's where the full episodes go, the 20 minutes to 30 minutes. Interviews, special guest Bobby Skinner's been on, Jordan Renan, guys like that. I'm gonna go live once a week, usually during the season for the rest of the year. I'm also Ryan's Big Blue Podcast on Instagram and Ryan's Big Blue Podcast on not podcast, on Twitter, because you can only have 15. Nice. Handles, whatever it is, and that's where I post like reaction videos and things like that and clips. So that's where you can find me. And this was fun. Definitely got to do this again in the future on both of our shows.
Love it. We love it. Great.
Absolutely. So again, Clay from Bklyn, football with the fellas, and who's my partner here? Who am I here with?
Man, Mayzo. It's all about Big Blue. Hey,
yes, sir.
Ryan,
yes, sir.
We appreciate you coming on. Clay, as always, we have fun doing this. Fans, hold on before we forget. In the section down there, I want you to hit that like button. Comment on what you think about this. What's going to happen on Sunday with the against the Redskins. Oh, excuse me, I said Commanders. But you get a slip up every now and then. But comment what you think about what the Giants are going to do against the Commanders. And also, we ask you to subscribe. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace.
Go Giants.
Go Giants.
Big shout out to El Marquis Productions, the talent behind the music and production here at Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Their beats bring energy and excitement to every episode. El Marquis' skills in mixing, mastering, and creating top quality sound make the podcast come alive each week. For your own projects, check out elmarquisproductions.com and take your sound to the next level.